Hello friends, welcome to your reading. My name is Paul. I'm so glad you could make it. Be sure to hit the like button if you enjoy these videos. It really does help out the channel. Now this is a general message for Scorpio. Try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Scorpio, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And we start with the Lover's card. This is a card of choice. You're somebody who takes your commitments seriously. You have agreed to something. This is like someone that, we make a promise, we make a commitment, and we don't give up easily. When you make a promise, that's it, that it takes a lot for you to go back on your word. This is the card of us agreeing to something, choosing something, saying yes to something. Okay, and you're someone who's very reliable. You take this sort of thing seriously. Okay, it is a choice that is not, it's not easily undone for you. Okay, your word is your bond here. So I feel like there is a union that's taken place in your life, whether we're talking now about a romantic relationship or a family thing, a friend, if it's a commitment to a job or a pet, a plant, a person, right? Doesn't matter. Let's take a look. Put this into some context. And of course, if there's anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Okay, now, where is this taking place? Here we have a Two of Wands. That makes sense. We got a Page of Swords, a King of Swords, a Queen of Pentacles, and a Four of Swords. Okay, so I like the Four of Swords here because to me it feels like the stress is going to be over. Okay, I feel that you're going to go through a period of seriously considering the choice that you made, that there's really going to be a period of doubt, a period of kind of, analyzing the choice, looking at both, looking at all different angles of it. There's going to be probably a period of doubt, but then with the Four of Swords in the future position, this is the period, no more doubt. This is the phase now where, okay, I'm satisfied. I'm not asking questions. My mind is at rest. And whether that is because we're kind of choosing to go in a different direction or we're choosing to stay here, that's going to be your choice, okay? But the idea here is that you're going to make a choice and you're going to feel very satisfied about your choice, and the period of stress and introspection is going to be gone, okay? Whatever choice you're making, it's going to bring you peace of mind. It's going to bring you a calmness. Whatever choice you make, you need to accept that choice and put an end to that the mental discord, right? We're looking for the Four, not for the Five of Swords, right? Over here we have a Seven of Wands. We have a Five of Wands. We have a Knight of Cups, another court card. And we have the Tower. And we've got the Tower. So we can look at this in a couple of different ways. And I'll tell you right now, that Two of Wands right there in the middle, this is about your choice of intention. This is not something that Spirit or Tarot or me, we're not going to tell you what to do. I'm not going to tell you that, look, going your own way, leaving this situation is going to be better for you. Spirit's not going to tell you that, oh, you're meant to stay where you are. This is the choice now where we're sort of looking at our options. We're looking at the world on one hand, we're looking at where we are on the other hand, and we're thinking, what do I really need to do? What's the right decision to make? Okay? You have the capabilities here to level up your life, whether that is in the situation you're in now or in a different situation. Maybe we'll get a little bit more clarity as we go through these cards, but right now it seems like there is a debate. Okay, it seems like you're You're in the middle of a decision-making progress. Should I stay or should I go? Okay. Let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith Waite Tarot. This is the factor. Whoa, look what we have popping out. Mystery card going right here with Michael Scott right on top. World's best boss. What we have here is the Emperor, right? And that's another confirmation from Spirit that's saying the decision is yours. You've got to make the decision that's going to be best for you and your life, your future, for your health, your well-being, your happiness, your prosperity, whatever is your motivation right now, whatever concerns you the most, you've got to make the right decision for you. And the very essence of this reading is about you not letting other people make the decision for you. So why would you ask Tarot to do that or Spirit to do that? It's kind of like Spirit is here because Spirit wants you to make the choice. Right. Well, let's take a look around the room. If you have a prediction for this card, put it in the comments. You do have some major arcana, right? You started out with the Lover's card, which is this idea of, hey, what choice are you going to make, Scorpio? You know, it's kind of like Spirit has presented you with the options and saying, okay, make your decision, make your commitment. What are you going to do, right? And, of course, you got your Tower. And the Tower is, well, it's either a disaster or it's a breakthrough. Okay, there is no there's no in-between here for you. This is either going to make it or break it. It's either going to be the best decision you've ever made or the worst. But the idea of the Four of Swords, if I can interject, is for you to make the decision and then rest in the confidence of your decision. Put your mind at ease. Okay? It's not so much about the decision. It's about you being able to make it. It's not about which one you're committing to, left or right. Staying or going, this one or this one. It's about following through. Because see, the Tower is the result no matter what. Basically, this decision, whether you take door number 1 or door number 2, or if you choose to stay where you are or you choose to go off in this direction, it doesn't matter what you do. It's going to result in a huge change in your life anyway, no matter what. Okay? I think the only real caveat here is that you must choose. Yeah. And then, of course, we get the Emperor as our third major arcana energy, which sort of reinforces this idea that you can handle whatever change is coming. That it is about a discipline, kind of, right? It's not so much whether I'm taking door number 1 or door number 2, but it's that I have the discipline to follow through with either one of these paths. Maybe you're thinking, should I be a doctor or a lawyer? Should I stay at this job or should I go and get a new job? Either way, you're going to have to commit to something. Either way, you're going to have to really follow through on this path. Because vacillating between options perpetually is not going to work. Making a decision and saying, no, never mind, I want to do this instead, that's not going to work. Whatever decision you make, if you pick that person or that person, that job or that job, that career, that path or that path, that spiritual tradition or that spiritual tradition. Right? Either way, you need to have the discipline and you need to take it seriously to follow through and really see it through to the end. Basically, the Emperor is here to say you can do anything you want, Scorpio. You can be a basketball player. You can be a politician. I don't know why you choose that. You could be. You could be a doctor, a lawyer. You could be a spiritual guru. I don't know. You could be a YouTube star. You could be a rock star. But you have to be willing to commit to the path and stick with it. The vacillating is what's going to really be the issue. That's going to cause the problems, right? So beyond the majors, we've got fire, fire, fire. You don't have any water. This doesn't feel good right now. Okay? There's no satisfaction right now because you haven't achieved anything. You haven't succeeded in it yet. It's like we're still here. We're still debating. Should I go out on this adventure or not? See this, the Two of Wands. The person here is holding on to the globe, holding on to the world and the wand, and thinking, what kind of world do I want to create? What do I want to do? Do I want to stay here in the castle here, safe? Or am I going to go out into the world? Am I going to go on this adventure and build my world? Construct my reality? Okay? So it doesn't really matter, and I say that all the time on this channel, it doesn't matter what you're doing. What matters is how and why. Why you're doing it, I think, is that's part of our introspection. How you're doing it, well, that's Emperor. You're doing it with a boss energy. You're doing it with a warrior mentality that says, I'm going to do it, and nothing's going to get me to quit. If I really want to have this breakthrough, I think what we really want with this tower moment is freedom. I feel like this is an escape from the choice, right? Escape from this dilemma. The only way to escape the dilemma is to just make the choice and stick with it. Whether you're going left or right, whether you're taking that road up the mountain or that road up the mountain, doesn't matter. All roads lead to Rome. Yeah. I feel like this is freedom. I feel like you're ready to level up your life, and you're just wondering, should I do music? Should I do painting? What should I, do I go work for that company or that company? It's all the same in the end. But I think the one thing that is helping out your choice is introspection. Page of Swords underneath everything. You got to have an idea of who you are. Now, every road leads to Rome. Every road leads up the mountain to the summit of the mountain, right? And when you get to the summit of the mountain, when you get to the tower, it doesn't matter. All paths converge in this sort of breakthrough experience, the freedom, right? The leveling up, the full spiritual awakening, the activation, right? All paths are the same. Everything converges here. But the Page of Swords is wondering, well, what am I good at? What would be a good choice for me? Well, yeah, all choices are the same. All choices are the same in a certain sense. But some paths might be more suited to our nature than other paths. So the Page of Swords is trying to ask ourselves, look inside, introspection, and say, what am I good at? What do I have a natural inclination toward that might make the path not necessarily easier, but perhaps more economical, more feasible? Okay? Can't say all paths are the same. Okay, I'll be an astronaut then. Well, I might be too old to be an astronaut. Well, I don't know that I want to be a fighter pilot. I want to fly planes. Well, I don't have the eyes for it, We have to sort of be reasonable. Every path is the same, philosophically speaking, but it's going to be very different if you're trying to be, a square peg in a round hole. You got to find the right component for yourself, and that requires introspection. It requires knowing ourselves, knowing who we are. Oh, I want to be a rocket scientist. Yeah, but I'm terrible at math. Well, I guess I could get good at math, but that's not really, given my age and my education, that's not really suitable, I don't think. We kind of have to judge ourselves a little bit. Yeah. And I think that this is one important factor in your decision right now. The only choice is whether you stay or whether you go. Whether you stay here and do nothing, or you go out into this adventure. And you go out and you seize the world, You go out and you achieve your freedom. You're leveling up your breakthrough, right? Your transcendence. The only choice is whether to launch your life, We have a lot of court cards here, and I think the court cards are a lot of people that seem to know what's best for you, okay? A lot of people that are probably telling you what to do, telling you what you should do, telling you what you'd be good at, telling you what decisions that you should make. And I think we're trying to kind of, we're trying to take all of that in as data, or data, as some people call it. But we're not making a decision based on that. I don't think you're making a decision based on money either. The Queen of Pentacles at the top here. This is our future self, and we're sort of, we have to know kind of who we are right now. What do I think I'd be good at? we have to also ask ourselves, what is my future self going to be really happy to have done? You know, when I'm old and gray, and what regrets am I going to have? I think the regret that we'd have is kind of not taking a chance on ourselves, not saying yes to something. So remember, this is about a choice. This is about a choice to commit ourselves to something. Okay? Now, we could err on the side of caution and say, I'm not going to commit to anything. Right? But then down the road, we might say, man, yeah, I may have avoided a lot of danger. I may have avoided a lot of hardships in my life. But I never did anything all that great. I don't have any good stories to tell. You know, I can tell plenty of stories of things that I didn't do, things that I said no to. But I need to have a story about what I said yes to. And even if I succeed or fail, doesn't matter. See, the tower, we don't know what the tower is going to be. The tower could be ruin. It could be prosperity. It can be complete leveling up. Or it can just be a disaster. The idea is that the end result doesn't matter. What matters is that I took a chance doing something powerful, right? Something even risky, something bold, something that I can tell my kids about. I can't tell my kids about all the things that I never tried, but I can tell my kids about how I tried this one really big thing, gave it everything I had, it didn't work out. But you know what? I'm here telling that story, right? Otherwise, what is our future self going to really have there, you know? So this card, the queens are always looking at the past. And what the queen is looking at, I think, right now for you presently is you are looking at your history of this King of Swords. King of Swords is a fixed air energy. Okay? This is a belief about the world or a belief about ourselves that's very hard to undo, very hard to bend that belief or break that chain, right? Sometimes the King of Swords is saying that we believe we are a certain way. We believe the world is a certain way. We believe that we are a particular person or a particular type of person. We have all these so-called understandings about ourselves and about the world. Sometimes what we need is to change our mind. Sometimes we have to be open to new ideas. This is somebody that believes something and doesn't want to change their mind. Very fixed, very rigid. Okay? And what I feel like the Queen is sort of looking at this history of saying no to a lot of things, not believing that we're capable of it, not believing that things are possible. So I wonder if we're already aware of this idea of, I'm going to regret it if I don't do it. I'm going to regret it if I don't at least try. You know, I'm going to regret it if I don't wake up and live my destiny. If I don't wake up and answer the call to my own adventure of my own life, I'm going to regret it. And maybe I believe that it's not for me. Maybe I believe that I am a certain type of person, or that there's a limit to my capabilities, or that I'm this or I'm that, or I'm not this or not that. Bottom line is, I'm going to regret it if I don't do something. If I don't do something. Right? So I think Spirit has this choice on the table for you, and I don't know why that choice has come about, or what the choice is exactly in its details. And it could just be that there is this growing awareness in you that I've got to live my adventure. All right, I've got to live my life. You know, it kind of reminds me of I've been thinking about my own daughter. She's 4, and I think about, I would love for her to stay home for her entire life. I never want her to leave. I never want her to go and do anything. I just want her to be with us the whole, forever. Right? That's what I would love that. But would I, though? Because I want her to grow up and believe that she can do anything she wants. And I want her, when she feels the call, when she's being summoned to live her adventure, to live her destiny, I want her to be prepared to get up and do that. I want her to say, you know what, now's the time. This is what I'm going to try to do with my life. To be ready to face, her life and feel strong enough and believe in herself enough that she can do that. I want her to be summoned by her own destiny and for her to answer the call. Okay? And I feel that's where you are right now, that you're being summoned by your destiny and you're going to answer the call. And the decision that you make, whether it's door number 1, door number 2, the 4 of Swords is very important here because it's reminding you that the important thing is that you made a decision and you committed to something. It doesn't matter necessarily what it was. What the 4 of Swords is saying is that once you make your decision, don't start thinking, I should have picked door number 2, or I should have stayed home, or I should have done that, or I would have been better at football than baseball. It does not matter. You've done the work beforehand. You've considered your options wisely and with discernment. And the decision that you make is one that is under will. It was an intentional and well thought out decision. Okay. I was wrong when I said there are no cups. There is a Knight of Cups, but this is in the position of what we don't want. This is in the position of the fear, really. But once we've made the decision, we can rest, right? The anxiety is coming from just not knowing what to do. Should I do it or should I not do it? And if yes, which way do I go? Without the anxiety of the choice, we can kind of rest easy. It's almost like someone that signs up for the military. Once they do it and they're on the plane, it's like, no worries now. Now I don't have to make any more decisions. I've already done it. I've already agreed to it. I've committed myself to it, and I'm traveling in that direction. And now it takes away the anxiety of choice. Okay, now it's just a matter of going with the flow. Now it's just a matter of, pushing ourselves and challenging ourselves and going through the difficulties on a day-to-day basis. Okay, all the anxiety, all the stress comes the moment before we make a choice. We're just like, I know once I make a choice, like that's it. Once I commit to something, that's it. That's the path, right? So let's talk about the path of the serpent. Because we see that sort of fight, that wrestle here with the Seven of Wands. Now, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. These readings are totally free. The Seven of Wands is the struggle of trying to make a decision. I feel like a lot of people are trying to tell you what to do. There are a lot of options. A lot of things seem really good, really tempting. This is you wrestling with this idea of, do I stay, do I go? What do I commit to? What choice do I make? Okay? Because you know that once you make the choice, that's it. Once you sign the paperwork, that's it. It's pretty much, you're in it. Okay? We see the Five of Wands, which is different. Both are very kind of fighting energies. But I think this is you struggling between a lot of different options. This is you doing the thing and just going through the day-to-day struggle of it. Okay, so very different. Both of them are fighting energies, but very different types of fights. This is kind of your general energy. This is the difficulty with which you're wrestling with your decision and struggling to make a choice. Once you make the choice, your mind is at rest. Now it's just about you doing the drills, doing the work, practicing, going through the daily struggles of getting along with your people or sort of learning the ropes at the new job or whatever it might be. This is you doing the schoolwork after you've committed, right? So there's a different kind of fight now. This is the fight of growth. Once we make the decision, now we're just fighting to continue to make progress. This is you wrestling with the decision, okay? The Knight of Cups is the energy that's sort of the fear here. And the fear is that we're going to set off on this quest with an empty cup, and that the cup will never be filled. The idea there is that maybe we're going to set off on this journey and commit to something and not do it, not get it, not make it. Okay? We have to remember that it's not about the end result, it's not about the goal, it's about the journey. The journey is what is really building who you are and building your reality. Whether you get to rock stardom or not, whether you ever play the Cow Palace or not, it's not the point. It's who you're becoming, having made a decision, and you're sticking with it to the very end. Okay. Now, we could be talking about a marriage. We could be talking about a partnership of some kind, a contract of some kind. It feels, theoretically, you can back out of it. Most things in life, you can kind of say, I changed my mind, I don't want to do it anymore. But that's not you. Okay, so this might be one of these kind of, a Ulysses contract, where we make it very difficult for ourselves to back out of it once we've committed. Okay. And of course, I'm not implying that you should stay in a bad marriage, that you should stay in an abusive relationship, nothing like that, okay? There are exceptions to every rule. But the Emperor here is showing your willpower to stick with something even when our cup is empty, even when we're going around with just sort of like an empty basket saying, eventually I hope this is going to pay off. That we're on this quest even though we're not being rewarded for our work. Okay. I think being on the quest is its own reward. Being on the journey is fulfilling in and of itself, even if at the end of the road we don't get the big win, the big surprise, the big jackpot, It's like you're being called to something. It doesn't mean that you're going to be showered with gifts. It doesn't mean that you're going to receive all this fame and fortune and all these accolades at the end. Okay, I think you're being chosen for something really significant in life. It doesn't mean that you're going to get, it's going to be just all this pleasure. It's not like just money and stuff is going to be thrown at you. It's not just going to be a big bowl of ice cream waiting for you at the end. It may be, but it may not be. And I believe that's how it works with our destiny. That we're being called, you're being chosen to do something significant. And very often it isn't always going to satisfy our human desires. We have this idea of our destiny, and well, it just means I'm going to go get to do something fun. Not always. Not always. Because like we see down here with the fire energy, after the struggle of making the decision, well, then you got the struggle of just doing the work. You got the struggle of the daily grind of this thing. Okay? And I think the worry is that it's going to be a never-ending journey and that our human cup, let's say, is not going to be filled. We don't see any other water cards here, right? We do have the Tower. Okay? And to me, the Tower kind of feels like it's a sudden awakening. Okay? I'm feeling like you're being called for something. I feel like this is for the chosen. And the Tower, I think, is our decision to go forth with something, knowing that it's going to be difficult, knowing that it may never pay off. It may never satisfy our human desires, but nevertheless, it is it's a mission that we're being called to. And now you could be sort of denying the call, sending it straight to voicemail, But I feel like they're going to keep calling. Spirit's going to keep calling you until we make the decision, and then we'll get a little bit of peace. Then we'll get a little bit of rest, right? The Tower could be, I think, the revelation of your destiny, the revelation of what you're meant to be doing in this life. To me, this could be, it could be either the devastation or the celebration. The idea is that we don't know what the ending is going to be. We know it's going to be a big change. Making this decision is going to really disrupt your life. We don't know if we're going to win or lose. Okay? And that, I think, is intentional. Spirit wants you to say yes to this, knowing full well that you're going into the fire. Knowing full well that this may not be all that pleasant for you. But it's something that you feel might be necessary. Let's look at the mystery card. I'm feeling a 6. I want a 6 of cups. I want the pleasure. I want you to feel like, oh, this is going to be good. It's going to be fun. It's going to be enjoyable. It's going to be pleasant. Maybe it's going to be a 6 of wands. We've got the 5. We've got the 7. Maybe the 6 is fits right in the middle there. It might be the Wheel of Fortune. It might be the Empress. We know it's not going to be an Emperor, right? If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. Yeah, here we go. 6 of Wands, yes. Yes, I got to ring the bell. The 6 of Wands, because the victory here, it's not now, this isn't saying that whatever you set out to do, you're going to be the rock star. People are going to be celebrating you, you're going to win. I think that's the implication, right? But I feel that even more than that, this is about you having a victory over yourself. This is your pride and satisfaction that, hey, you know what? I made a tough decision, I committed to it, and I overcame my own obstacles, I overcame my own blockages, and I did it. Maybe I didn't do it well, maybe I didn't come in first place, maybe I didn't get the $1 million, but I did it. You know, this is basically Spirit's way of saying, go run that marathon. You may come in last place, but it's still a big win. You may come in first place, and that's even better. It does not matter, though. It does not matter if you were faster than anybody else. The only fight really here is with yourself. About pushing yourself to do this with discipline, with willpower, with this boss, emperor energy. Being willing to do the difficult thing and finish the thing, even if you come in last place, it doesn't matter. It is still a huge win. Yeah. So I feel like this is a victory over your own doubt. This is a victory over your own kind of indecisiveness. I feel like this is a path, a task, a calling, a job, a vocation, whatever, a relationship that's really going to teach you a lot about yourself. It's going to teach you what you're capable of. Yeah. And by the looks of this card, feels like you're going to be celebrating a big win too, right? It feels like there are going to be people that are kind of cheering for you. So I kind of feel like you're going to do really well at whatever this is. But don't go into it expecting that. Okay? This is a deeper, more spiritual quest. And I think that's where the emphasis is here. Okay? Even maybe you'll get in first place. Maybe this is going to be that really huge win for you. But try to stay focused on what is really important, and that's like the personal growth. That is the fulfillment of that part of you. Go into it expecting to get into last place, maybe. You know what I mean? Maybe not literally, but being okay with that. Try your very, very hardest to get first place, but if you get last place, there's no one you're competing with, okay? Except for yourself. Now we're going to do an extended reading. We're going to do an I Ching reading. We'll do some oracle cards. There's a link up top. There's a link down below. New readings for Scorpio Wednesdays and Saturdays. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. These readings are totally free. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.